It is me, Johnson Chan, and I can't believe days and weeks goes by really quickly. But that's just how it goes. So I just got to let's see, Bitcoin Cloud World dump news today. I don't even know what number it is. Everything is down due to Moronic, FUD, and lockdown fears. Okay, so I just gotta like tweet this out. Unfortunately, I can't just have like a pre-made title unless I go through like a bunch of other hassles, and then like yeah. But that's just how it goes. All right. So I actually have been finding out other problems with my health, and it turns out that I was actually taking on a little bit too much sodium. So long story short, I technically have pre-hypertension, but it's at the very low end. Because pre-hypertension's like when your resting heart rate's like, I think 80 to 100, which is actually really bad. That's like insane. So they say that 80 is like a good number, but it actually turns out you really want it to be in the 70s. So, so now I'm actually starting as of yesterday morning. I'm on a very ultra fasting diet, so I'm definitely losing weight rapidly. I'm down to 180.4, but more importantly, I need to reduce my sodium intake by like a lot. But on the other hand, you still need to take in like 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium. So yeah, I forgot something. And on top of that, things are getting so much worse politically, especially since, fucking Joe Biden is basically threatening the unvaccinated, so, we'll talk about that in a second. Well, maybe. I just gotta get these tweets out. Oh, I meant to say live now. Duh. Ah, great. Wait, I am on my profile. I gotta hit the delete button on this one because I meant to say live. So, hopefully everyone had a really good weekend. Obviously, it's very early, but well, first of all, it's a holiday week, and then next week will be kind of a holiday week as well because next week's New Year's week essentially. And I don't know. I kind of want to just keep relaxing. I did a lot of videos last week, right? Because there's just so much content going on. So I want to relax. And on top of that, the markets are closed Friday, and on Thursday they close at like 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock. So I'm only going to do 3 videos this week. So it'll be a convenient time for me to just rest and relax. Also, I'm really curious to see how hard they're going to push the lockdown stuff because they really are pushing it hard. So yeah. And now that I have a little bit more time to, keep juicing up my Twitter account, yeah, I actually can see this is actually working out pretty well. Because if I wasn't trying to do this, this would have a lot less retweets and likes. So people really like this. Yeah, and then Disclose.tv put this out. It's like, yeah, you will own nothing, and you will be happy. That's funny too, because when I posted that on Gab, Owen Benjamin actually disagreed with my message and said it's just going to induce fear, and then like said you have to change it and whatever. And it's like, yeah, whatever. I didn't want to start arguing with him because there's no point. But I'm like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm not surprised. Like boomers are just going to be like fucking completely different. It's like I don't even want to bother with it. Oh, so I forgot to hit the refresh button. All right, so pretty much everything is actually down. All right. It seems like a lot of people think it's Omicron and like the Moronic variant and lockdowns and shit. That's definitely kind of like a big thing. But I mean, overall, the problem is it's just the holiday this week and next week. The next 2 weeks are holiday weeks, so trade volume is always going to be bad, right? So crypto's usually going to go down a lot, which it is, and it's going to keep going down, unfortunately. And Greg did say there would be like a Christmas Santa rally because the CEOs of big banks. Hey, Turtle Nugget. Good morning, by the way. Surprised you're up this early. I mean, I woke up at like 5 a.m. today because I still have too much energy. Uh, but that's because I also consumed 2 boxes of like strawberries yesterday because it's really good for your heart and your blood pressure because that's what I'm trying to deal with, right? And again, I'm just fasting, so I basically just had like I basically had I had very little calories yesterday. I had like the minimum amount of food, and surprisingly, I actually wasn't that crazy with hunger. It's like I thought I was, but that was just Satan. If I just took like 1 bite, maybe 2 bites, then I stopped being crazy with hunger, and I'm able to, go on. So that's very helpful. Problem is, once I actually reach normal weight, I'm thinking like around 140 for my height. I'm gonna have to look into like some kind of like actual cooking alternative. So, but I'll worry about it then. Monthly graph shows Bitcoin down 25%. Oh, it's that bad. Yeah, I mean we'll take a look at it, but yeah, I mean Bitcoin is just getting everything's getting pounded. Everything's getting pounded. I mean, you have, again, I think you just got in, so I just said this, but Joe Biden's threatening the unvaccinated, right? Like, it literally just comes off as a threat. Obviously, he doesn't think that it comes off that way, but the wording actually just sounds like a direct threat. If you don't do this, you're going to die. It's like, you can interpret that in like a lot of negative ways. And unfortunately, we are still on track for Dark Winter, as Andre Wang says. So, because the resistance is starting to intensify, so that means the globalists are reacting by locking down even further, right? That's why Netherlands is already down. Boris Johnson is trying to lock down England, but I think the protests there are actually pretty nasty, which is not being reported by the media, of course. So that's why Boris is holding off. And probably some people in the British government are actually opposed to it too, and like they're getting mad at Boris. France is the same way. Austria is just trying to pass a law to try to take everyone's money, which will probably happen, unfortunately. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Well, I haven't heard anything new on the comment of the new law yet. Switzerland's, also, kind of fighting back. All right, Germany's also kind of going insane. I don't know. I don't know. And then, of course, now that I've been juicing my Twitter account, I'm obviously being exposed to a lot more info. So we have a concentration camp bill here in New York as well, right? Bill A4416. I already tweeted about it here on Gab, but based on previous history, it just never gets considered, so that no one even wants to touch it, which is good. But what I don't understand is why don't you just get rid of it so you never have to worry about it? So it's a problem because it's a potential problem. But by then, I think I'll be out of New York. So I also found that the Johnson and Johnson vaccine is apparently not a mRNA vaccine. It's more like a traditional one, but it still counts as a vax. It's very weird. So I think that's actually why they're trying to take out J&J because they don't want people having actual alternatives. Because Mike Cernovich is actually vaccinated, so he probably vaccinated his whole family. So like it just blows my mind. And I was tweeting about this last night. I was pissing off a couple of boomers, not a whole lot, but uh, I actually like he really wants Ron DeSantis to run. A lot of people are okay with it, but they also recognize that we're going to lose Florida, right? Well, not lose Florida, but we're going to lose DeSantis as the governor of Florida. Like, that's why I don't like it. That's the problem. DeSantis can actually beat Trump very easily, you know, because the context and situation is different. It boils down to Trump was a weak and ineffective buffoon in the presidency, which is mostly true. And even Mike even says, I'm not doing another 4 years of a Jared Kushner presidency, right? So, you know. And then the other problem is he bandits his supporters all the time. Like, Trump takes it from everyone but gives nothing back, right? January 6th is a perfect example. He grifted $250 million for over the January 6th thing. Hasn't spent a single penny helping to defend the January 6th defendants. So, it's a real problem. It's a real problem. So, but I don't know. I just think it's a mistake. But Con Inc. really wants to push Ron DeSantis. So, I mean, there's not much I can really do. But I guess that's the plan, right? fuck over Trump, fuck over Florida, let the Democrats take control permanently, and then that's it. It's like, which means it's like, oh my God, I just moved to Florida, man. Come on. So I don't know. Let's see. Rick Scott was a Republican, and then Ron DeSantis took over. So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to hope that maybe we'll get lucky a third time. I mean, they do have very strict voter ID laws in Florida, so the Democrats won't actually be able to just cheat their way out. They'll have to actually come up with something good. I don't know. I mean, I think we do have the advantage because a Republican all it has to say is just look what's happening in the country. Everything is going to shit because it's Democrat run. You have freedom in Florida because we're Republican, so vote for me. That's all you have to say. And by then, I should be a decamillionaire or whatever, so I could probably like you know, gain some influence and also promote whoever the Republican governor of Florida nominee is going to be. But again, I don't know, man. I just don't like this. I just don't like this. Let's see. What else is there? Yeah, because I'm only doing 3 videos this week, so I could probably do a little more ranting. But, well, not really. I mean, whatever. All right. So if I think of something else, I'll come up with that. But those are like the major things. Those are the major things. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, actually, I forgot. I want to close on this. It's ultimately to come down to Trump versus DeSantis. If DeSantis is actually crazy enough to like run against Trump, because DeSantis could very well beat Trump and become the 2024 nominee. And part of me wants to see that because I want Trump to like fucking stop being an arrogant, egotistical asshole and like admit that he's wrong, because that's why he never improves. So he basically needs like a good wake up call. The problem is any of that is just gonna weaken our position permanently. It's just gonna screw us. So yeah. But anyway, Mike Cernovich is totally on board with. He calls him Heavy D, right? Heavy DeSantis, right? So it's gonna be Trump versus DeSantis, Mike Cernovich versus Nick Fuentes. That debate has to be hosted by Alex Jones on InfoWars. And that thing's going to have like 50 million views. I'm not even exaggerating. It's going to be 50 to 100 million views. Because it's just not two heavyweights going at it. It's actually the clash of Con Inc. plus Alt Light versus True America First / Groypers. Which it's actually a double-edged sword because Groypers are really just basically Trump 2.0, but hopefully without the flaws and drawbacks of actual Trump, right? Because what are the flaws of Trump? Doesn't back his supporters. He has no empathy. He constantly cucks out for a certain country that we can't name and for liberals. But he doesn't do anything for his own supporters. It's so frustrating. And then he constantly lets his stupid son-in-law, Jerry Kushner, run the show. So it's so frustrating. So, and on that, both Nick and Mike actually agree on that. So I already know Mike's position. I'm just curious to see what Nick would say in response to that. Say, yeah, we know. It's like, obviously Nick's going to come up with a very brilliant argument, but I just want to see what it is because I can't see it. I just can't see it. But we don't have to worry about that until 2023, 2024, and that's assuming Ron decides to run. But I don't know. Con Inc. is pushing him really hard behind the scenes, and they're inflating his ego probably. White Pill is Christ wins in the end. Yeah, I wish he would win faster. But as JLP has been saying, like, you can't rush something like that. That's the whole point of faith. You just have to endure this pain. Yeah. So you gotta live your life, do the silent prayer, and then just just do what's in front of you. But I just wish there was something more I could do, But it's pretty obvious that Satan is really telling me to do all these things, and I recognize that it's like, you know what? I'm gonna assume everything that's in my head is a lie, because all thoughts are lies. And I actually am starting to really understand what that means, right? One was, let's work on making music. No, that's a lie, so I dropped that. Eventually, he's like, what else was the other thing? Let's look into making a super PAC, because I think I mentioned that in my analysis video on Saturday, right? The Dave Smith versus Nick Fuentes debate. I actually looked into it. It's actually not that bad, except that I have to file a bunch of stupid reports once a month because that's the federal law, from the FEC. Right? He's like, I don't know. Let's hold off on that because I actually could be a very good politician. I'm actually trained to be one. I just choose not to do it. But who knows? Maybe we need to do it. I might need to do it. A state. I don't know why you have to censor the word Satanism. You're allowed to say that on YouTube, but I don't know. Maybe you're aware of a censor that I'm not aware of. Have you watched Satanism video by John Doyle? It's really good. I don't actually watch John Doyle content at all, but I know he's very, very good. Let me see. I'm surprised he's not banned on YouTube yet. So, John Doyle. Do you know what the exact title is? I want to try to find it. Is it this one? Oh my god, what the freaking hell? Okay, is it this one? The very real link between Satanism and liberalism? Because these are actually all very long. John Doyle thinks liberalism is literally Satanism Part 2, Chud Watch. Oh, okay, he's got a couple, okay. This is a part, wait, that was a Part 2, which would obviously imply there's a Part 1. Oh, Hannah Reloaded. This is a different guy's channel. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to his thing. Holy shit. This guy went from like 10K to 324,000? Is he still on Twitter? Isn't he? Yeah, he got banned on Twitter. Is he banned on Facebook? He doesn't have much reach there. Okay. So this is the one you wanted me to see. I'm actually curious to see about that debate, but you and our country, how to actually combat woke capitalism. Actually, he's got a couple of videos here I'd be interested in watching. Because right now XQC is watching MasterChef. I already seen season 5, and season 6 pissed me off. I actually just, after they kicked up a hot-looking Olivia white girl, I was like, okay, you know what? F this. I don't want to watch the final season full of fat people and G-word people. It's like, ugh. Warning, we have to be skeptical of Ron DeSantis. Yes, I actually do. Because this would be good because I don't have... He's got a lot of good shit. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna have to spend some time on my Chrome going to his thing. John Doyle YouTube. Holy shit, 324 Papega subscribed to him. I should probably subscribe to him too. The problem is I don't want to actually have my YouTube channel flagged for watching politics, especially right-wing politic channels, and then that increases my chances of getting banned, or at least censored. Because I actually have not been banned on YouTube. I just get censored. With community strikes and all this other stupid bullshit. Skeptical of Ron DeSantis. This video may be inappropriate for some audiences. Alright, well at least he doesn't play copyrighted music, so that's good. 5 wake-up calls for conservatives, heck off commie. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of good shit. Yeah, I could see why he's 324K. What did you say? He was banned the day after the election. Oh. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I also have 4 notifications here. Some subscribers and... Actually, this is a real kind. It makes no sense because they are all agent provocateurs on both sides. You don't get cash these days. What does that mean? Without a huge prop-up trace back to Viacom or both. I think he's... I don't know. Is he saying Nick Fuentes is controlled opposition? Whatever. Alright. Fed still hasn't released... Yeah. Why is the Federal Reserve not releasing the November M2 money supply? Okay, this has to be... They have to have fucking updated this. See, they have M2 discontinued M2. They have an M2, M2SL. I might have to use the Federal Reserve of, which one is this? Oh, that's the Fred system. Board of Guards, Federal Reserve. I think I'm already, well, I'm measuring M1. Okay, so you know what? We don't want to use this one. We have to use this one. Give me the 1 year here. Oh my God, yeah. Oh, okay. I was wrong. They are actually not releasing it because this thing is still saying October 2021. Well, this one I like better anyway. Oh my God, just look at that. Just look at that. All right. So anyway, 20 minutes 35. I'm actually going to write this in my sticky notes. 20 minutes 40. So I know where the intro ends. All right. So Bitcoin clown searches. Might as well be clown searches. Last week is around 20 and has gone down a little bit. Okay. So normies don't really care. Bitcoin's at 11. So yeah, everyone's just not interested in crypto. Inflation is still a concern for everyone, which makes sense because Mike Stern is talking about inflation a lot. However, people they're not panicking yet because now we have hyperinflation is down to 8 for this December. And again, I don't have any reason to believe Google's manipulating this trend data. I mean, that's pretty extreme. You have to go into every single keyword term and then censor it, right? I mean, they probably have a full enough hand with you know. Well, actually, I haven't heard them. They said they're gonna fire all their unvaccinated employees by like mid-January or something. It was January 22nd. Yeah, but yeah. Okay, so normies are getting concerned about inflation and they don't care about cryptocurrencies. So the bull run remains dormant. That's what I'm using the word for. Fear and Greed index isn't actually too bad. It's down to 25. So at least it's not like flash crash day where that went down to like 16 or 18. I'm pretty sure it was 16, but for some reason this site was saying it was 18. So that's that. All right. So overall, people just don't like crypto, which sucks because that basically means, yeah, there's going to be sleeping for a while. All right. So it's 8:55 a.m. So the markets are not open, but it looks pretty bad. S&P is down to 1.3%. Dow is down 1.2%. Yeah, we're getting killed out here. Nasdaq futures are getting killed. Minus 1.46. Manchin, and then they're trying to like throw what's his name, Joe Manchin. I think that's his first name. I know it's Senator Manchin. He's a Democrat in West Virginia, but he actually votes Republican a lot because he represents a right-wing state. Oh, but don't worry, they're already flooding it with immigrants and illegals. So West Virginia will turn blue in time, unless someone gets in there to stop it. Crude oil is down 4.26%. Oh wow! So I know Greg's gonna be like, "Oh, we gotta be careful. It's gonna be another, attack or mass death." Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rule anything out. So far, it hasn't been that bad, and I know Israel is still attacking Iran, and like people want to and then they had like a little rocket attack in Iraq. So I know. So at least I think the scapegoat will still be Iran if there is some kind of war, right? Because I don't see anyone having the balls to attack China or Russia. It's just all saber rattling and like talking like trash talk basically, which I happen to find very annoying because I know nothing's gonna happen and all you're doing is just pissing people off. So why bother? That trillion spending bill probably would pump stock in crypto with their worthless dollars. Yeah, that's exactly what. Come to think of it, maybe that's what it is too. Maybe that's actually weighing on it. I mean, I'm glad that Build Back Better is getting I guess stalled or whatever, because obviously there's gonna be like mandate shit in there. That's really what I'm worried about. Yeah, Russell Sino Alliance, and then there'll be maybe a white Sino alliance, but I don't know. Until I actually know what's going on with China and buying up all our shit in America, and like the extent to how much control they actually have over, say, the Democrat Party, if at all, it may or may not happen. But all I know is you can still criticize Chinese people in China and nothing happens to you, but you criticize everyone else, you're fucked. So again, that tells me that China has control really over nothing. At least not over the narratives here, or they just don't care. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see, you know. So. Yeah, I do have to mention this because I was really pissed off when I saw Jesse Kelly say, Chinese skulls and stacking. I mean, I know he was referring to China, but, he said that on Tucker Carlson, and like Andre Wang has said repeatedly on the Daily Wire, right, SU, the idea is to foment general negative points of view about China, right? And people will forget the details, but that negativity will remain, right? Because, obviously his thing is, yeah, World War III with China. Yeah, they might do it, right? They're setting up for that, right? Because A, it'll help with depopulation agenda, but also number two, the situation is getting pretty bad, especially with the inflation. So they need like a scapegoat. What better scapegoat than China, right? So and I had a couple of boomers, just not getting it. And a couple others did, and it was just so frustrating to me. But I was able to talk in Twitter about it, and then people kind of understood. So I'm glad that not all boomers are retarded, because I would have been really effing pissed. But it just goes to show just how dangerous conning really is, right? And I even posted on my Twitter, if Jesse Kelly, went on Tucker and said, Jewish skulls instead of Chinese skulls, what do you think would happen to him in his career? And it's totally true, right? And I'm just so pissed off about it, but I guess I can't worry about it just yet. But once I get rid of my stupid ego and God changes me, I'll see what I'm supposed to be doing. But I don't know. I actually think maybe I should do something political. I can run a super PAC. I can run a thing that Saint Nick does, right? Which is a 501(c) or whatever. I forgot what that was called. It might be a charity NGO or something. It's like a special tax exempt organization. Or I could run for office. That could be another thing. The problem is I'd be in Miami, so I have to look for a different office or I could buy a second home. So I could physically be in a different district, probably more right wing obviously, and then run in that district. Not to mention I wouldn't mind having a second home anyway. Because I don't know how bad it is liberal wise, but if I get driven crazy in Miami, right? I need a more conservative area to go. In fact, maybe I'll just buy a house actually in Fort Lauderdale. I actually completely forgot Fort Lauderdale is north of Miami, and that's definitely a much more right-wing area, right? Of course, the problem is I don't like the cops, but what are we gonna really do? So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get the bonds. All right, let's see. I don't know. Are the bond markets even open right now? Let me see. I could check Yahoo. Yes, the market is open. All right, so these are actually correct. All right, so we've got fear, so that's good. So we got short and medium term debt, including the 10-year being bought up somewhat, and very long term slightly selling off. But pretty much people are buying bonds. Dow futures fall 400 points on Moronic. Yeah, it's not that people are afraid of Moronic. They're afraid of the lockdown and the more, tyranny and shit. Mannarino shares jump after it says booster appears to protect against something. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I love this. This even got a lot of activity on Gab too. So people really like this. I really want a T-shirt of this. I have to have a T-shirt of this. I don't know. I could just simply go on Redbubble and just upload this, and then just buy my own T-shirt. I might consider that actually. Because I really want people to run around with this, right? Because I don't agree at all with Owen Benjamin. It's like I don't even know why he said what he said, but I mean that whatever. All right. Anyway. So those are bonds. 24-hour market volume is still pretty shit at 89.1 billion. So we're not even really talking much here. Bitcoin is now below 46 grand. Ethereum below 3,800. I should refresh my buffs. Okay, let me just do this real quick. I actually have like 15 accounts in EverQuest, but I'm only playing with like four or five of them. And one of them is a mule account, which just runs around and collects everything. It's actually very convenient to have. And yeah, I actually have a lot of stuff on the other 10 accounts. Yeah, well that's the beauty of free to play. All right. Anyway, Ethereum. Yeah, I already said that. So Binance is down to below 510. Yeah, everything's just getting killed. Yeah, Solana's down, Cardano's down. I mean, at this point, I probably don't even need to do the technical analysis because we already know for now, that everything's pretty much bottoming out. But it's gonna continue getting worse. Yeah, Gala Games is even down finally. Where's Crypto.com? Yeah, 48.62. Yeah, so everything is just still bottoming out because, yeah, this week and probably next week is just going to be bad. We're going to have to wait till the new year, like literally the new year. So the first Monday of January for maybe things to pick up. I mean, I just don't see where the Santa Claus rally is going to happen because, I mean, right now if they have a Santa Claus rally, that would basically mean that they can't push the Omicron stuff, which is a problem because they want to push the Omicron stuff so they can get back control of society and lock everything down. So you got two competing problems, and I mean, I just don't see it. But with that being said, we know that there's just a lot of random stupid fear. Let's see, the Mannarino index is at 83.9, so it's actually gone down. So yeah, so people are gonna be buying this dip. We're going to buy this dip. We're not doing MDEX. Alright, so there is an update with, I guess, Metaverse Pro. So it's been out for, I guess, a week and a half. So the APY went from 9 billion to like 1.5 billion. Based on what Discord has told me, at least one guy said this, the actual APY is supposed to be around 500 million%. Yeah, I know, it's a crazy amount, which actually translates to 4% daily ROI. Now, what's interesting about this is the higher the APY goes, the diminishing return on your daily ROI increases. So going from 100% APY to 200%, your daily ROI spikes. But you go from 500 million to like say 10 billion APY, you're really only going from 4% to 5% daily ROI because it's a logarithmic exponential curve. So I thought that was actually kind of interesting, like how this all works. But I'm basically saying that there comes a point where your rate of return basically maxes out. So the dev team is actually pretty smart and basically calculated and factored in that the best number was actually 4%, which works for me. Now, whether we get that or not, we'll have to see. And I can see that the bond prices are actually really good for Metaverse as well. And yeah, this current index is actually, so I've actually figured out this current index, like why this is, I gotta move my stupid camera. Yeah, we'll put it down here for now. So you'll see that when you stake your super stake, right, 66, you actually are staking wrapped staked meta. So if you want to find out how much your entire thing is, because you have to do it manually for now, let's say you had 100 wrapped stake meta. What you do is you just simply take that number and you just multiply it by this wrapped stake meta price. And you can calculate exactly how much money, you're making. Right? So if this was, let's just say this was $600 and you had 2 wrapped stake meta after 24 hours of, staking this, you've made $1,200 in 24 hours. So that's actually why this thing, like how this whole thing works. But overall, I mean, the Treasury's going up, total deposited value was going up, and then we just had this crappy weekend where everyone's losing their minds. And actually, lockdowns are happening in the world, not on a massive scale, but they're trying to. But hopefully the protesters can convince some assholes not to do it. And then there's a problem with the website right now. The timer's not updating. Now in this case it's 0 because obviously I don't have anything in here. I mean, I haven't even approved this yet. So I think, given some time, I don't know when I'll put some money in here as a test so we can actually use real numbers instead of me just using these whatevers. But overall, it's looking pretty good. They're coming out with new stuff and their meta ash game. I think they actually own the Meta Ash game or something like that. So they said the game is ready, but they want to do more testing. Which works for me. They should take as much time as they need. I don't even know what we really want to do. Well, I guess we could. Actually, I'm curious because thanks to like these two particular technical indicators is so effing good. It was literally right on the money because I told the Discord yesterday. I didn't tweet this out, but the bottom for Metaverse Pro was 250 because that's exactly what the Keltner channel bottom here told me, right? And I also checked that with the MACD, which says, okay, this is pretty far down. It's getting one of them is even getting close to zero, so the bottom should be 250. And that's exactly what happened. Like Saturday night going to Sunday, because I was talking to the Discord for Metaverse Pro. I freaking nailed that shit to the wall. And then now it's bouncing back. Also, it also helps that we also had previous, bottoms over here, right? You could see a bottom forming, and there is really good support at 250 to 270. So yeah, and you can see large sell orders, but also large buy orders as well. So a lot of crap happening at 270. Now I think this could still fall under pressure because all the markets are under full pressure. Everyone's just paranoid and scared. So it's still frustrating, but what are you gonna do? But in the meantime, I continue to stack, I continue to compound. I definitely like compounding 6 days a week and then take profit on a Saturday. That basically maximizes my gains. So I just have to get lucky and hope that on a Saturday, Metaverse Pro is basically up for the week. So, yeah. Plan B does not have anything new. Let's see what we got. Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's look for some news real quick. To be honest, I really don't feel like it. I still want to rest. Bitcoin wobbles below 46 grand as when Bitcoin passes 800,000. Oh my god. Yeah, the Turkish lira, the currency that they have, is toast. It's done. DeFi, and I think even the Turkish government said, crypto's a scam or whatever. It's like, you get what you effing deserve, man. You get what you effing deserve. DeFi protocol, Grimfine lost 30 million, and I don't care about hacks. Indian state government to accredit Web 2 and Web 3 blockchain startups. I don't really care about India right now. U.S. Treasury official beckons new stablecoin regs. Didn't we kind of talk about that last time? 3 hours ago. Oh, okay, we do have to read this. Okay, if Congress won't do anything, we'll try to use our own powers. Okay. That's like a 50-50. On the one hand, they can just do whatever they want. On the other hand, they're also kind of restricted by what they can and cannot do. So the problem is we don't trust the government. I don't trust the government. So, like the law be damned, right? They're above the law. That's the problem. Billionaire Ray Dalio impressed how Bitcoin survived the last decade. I like Ray Dalio. He's actually super cool. He seems like a patriot and is willing to say what needs to be said without being a huge asshole. But yeah, we already know. But like Bitcoin is solid because you don't need a central bank to validate who owns what, right? That's really the most important that is the fundamental characteristic of why cryptocurrencies work, right? There's something called the Byzantine generals problem. When I used to explain this to mostly right-wing people, of course, that didn't understand Bitcoin at the time, I would always talk about the Byzantine generals problem. It's a very fascinating problem, and it was unsolved for thousands of years or hundreds of years until Bitcoin literally came along and solved it, and that's why everything changed. And it's probably a contributing reason why the globalists are going effing berserk. Blockchain Solution of the Year releases the first NFT. Yeah. Dubai World Trade Center to create new crypto hub and become a regulator. Not really interested. I'm kind of curious, but it's just because I'm feeling lazy right now. Also, it's in Dubai, so it's good, but again, don't really care, right? Because I'm obviously much more concerned about what's going on in the Western world. Yeah, I do want to see Nick Fuentes versus Mike Cernovich because that would actually change a lot of things. It would also, I don't know, I might actually, I wouldn't get banned, but I would definitely be whatever list that I'm on, they're definitely gonna increase it. So I mean, I'd just be curious to see what happens. U.S. Treasury official beckons new stablecoin regulations. If Congress doesn't do anything, which of course they won't, we'll use whatever authority we have, according to the Treasury. The U.S. Treasury Department made further hints at new laws for stablecoins 3 days ago. Okay. There's a big risk in stablecoins. Following on the Financial Oversight Committee, blah, blah, blah. Treasury has broad strokes. It's not part of the back of Congress mandated authority. They can do a little here and there, but if these are foundational to crypto and they aren't stable, that could potentially be a risk. Okay, they're bashing Tether or talking about an Australian report. More came in. A Cayman Islands-based network confirmed that Tether Holdings, U.S. Tether stablecoin, are fully backed by its reserve. However, its widespread use continues to raise concerns among policymakers. They claim the investor runs on stablecoin could wreak havoc on the market, while the sheer size of the market could upset traditional financial markets. The real comments such as market size is stable. Yeah, comments may be like when it comes to her comments also go those of Jerome Powell. They can certainly be useful, efficient, consumer serving part of the financial system if they're properly regulated. Right now they're not. Congress, however, remains divided. Of course, Pocahontas says stablecoins pose risk to consumers and the economy. They're propping up one of the blah blah. The crypto DeFi will consider at least prevent from getting scammed. Yeah, shut the fuck up, you stupid fucking cunt. Our regulators need to get serious about clamping down before it's too late. I know I've said this before, but again, I just cannot believe how stupid a lot of Democrats and liberals are. She's a great, Elizabeth Warren's a great progressive. No, she works for the fucking banks. She pisses me off so much. In contrast, Senator Pat Toomey from Pennsylvania welcomes stablecoin as a new exciting tech. Faster payments, yep. Proponents of Bitcoin and crypto as a whole argue that any regulation of stablecoins space is a case of shutting the stable door after the horse is bolted. Yeah, that's the thing, right? We can't trust this government, right? Today, stablecoins. Tomorrow will be Bitcoin. Then after that, global H word owns everything. All right. You know, we go back to Klaus Schwab over here. All right. We will own nothing and we will be happy. Well, I don't want that. Alex Gladstein, human rights, blah, blah, tweeted that stablecoins are a bridge to a near future where Bitcoin users can, if they wish, pay cold to anchor on mobile apps and non-custodial, non-KYC way outside of the bank without needing altcoin with instant global cheap payment. In this sense, stablecoins are a stepping stone broader Bitcoin adoption. Well, I'm glad that we have a Jewish ally, he sounds Jewish, that is saying very nice things about everything. Yeah, he's actually very pro-crypto. He's followed by a bunch of... Oh, the orange pill is not Trump, it's Bitcoin. Yeah, he's followed by all these guys. Yeah, so this guy is actually reputable. Wow, even Michael Saylor follows this guy. Tyler Winklevoss follows him? Who the fuck is this guy? I've never heard of him. Chief Strategy Officer at Human Rights Foundation, Oslo Freedom Forum. He also writes for Bitcoin Magazine. I'm not going to follow him because I already have enough followers, but yeah, this guy is actually legit. Is the dollar system where the U.S. forces other nations to finance its wars fair? Yeah, I'll retweet that. Chinese AI startup SenseTime said Monday will press ahead with Hong Kong listing after it was blacklisted in America over, genocide in Xinjiang, yeah. Meanwhile, you know, what's happening here in America. I really wish China would really just point out the shit that's happening here, but again, they just don't want to do anything, so it's just so frustrating, so frustrating. Kim Jong. What? Alright, whatever. Said my hero was sentenced to 25 years in prison. I'd rather have brain cancer because of reverse sentence, and she even forgot herself. My friend doesn't know where my two daughters are. What the hell is this? Fair estate contract. Okay, maybe I'm not. Uh, all right, now I'm starting to get a little suspicious here. Yeah, well, yeah. Ah, almost. But what can I say? Oh, that's actually the end of the article. All right. Well, I mean that's that. I mean it's gonna be a slow news week this week and next week, and most of it's gonna be political anyway. So, you know, overall, crypto's gonna be shit this week. It'll probably be shit next week. The only way that will not happen is if when the elite and big rich corporations start buying up this dip, maybe some of that dip money will find its way back into crypto. But at the rate crypto's sinking, I don't know. I don't see. Yeah, I don't see. Fortunately, Bitcoin 100 grand, 135K will 100% not happen at the rate this is going, which means I lose all my money in Ledger X. I lose all my money in my stock market account because they're all using call options, and it's very G word. It's very G word. And I still have plenty of time, but I mean, like, crypto is just so suppressed, or people just don't want to use it, or I don't know what the hell's going on. But Fear and FUD is definitely working pretty well, so I don't know. Just gonna have to ride the bear, and I'm just gonna have to rely on, Metaverse Pro to pretty much make up for all my losses, which it is doing, which is hilarious. Like, that just goes to show that just there's no point in doing any of this crap. No options, no stock markets, no nothing. Unless you want to do, like, sell options or buy big company stocks like Greg Mannarino recommends, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just not going to bother. So, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow after the markets close. And remember, I'm only doing 3 videos this week. Today's video, which was very early because I actually want to do other stuff today and then relax, and then especially because I'm doing hyper fasting. Like, this whole week I'm just gonna like drop like 10 pounds or something like that. I mean, who knows how much weight I'm gonna lose. I just know I need to lose a shit ton quickly. And Shake Shack's free fry deal at JFK has a catch. Oh my god, Shake Shack is so good. So, so anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow if the markets close, and yeah, I don't know, stay safe, I guess, and yeah, definitely encourage, promote, tweet, or even go to any protests about the mandates and shit, because that's literally the only thing that's stopping any of our governments from like imposing the mandates, the lockdowns, and then afterwards the fucking concentration camps. Ah. This is such a mess. Alright. Well, at least Mike Shermer just said he openly declared that he's gonna use his powers to stop it, which is nice, but we'll see what happens. Alright.